Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily News. I'm Nicholas Richardson. We're learning more and more new facts about the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. The media is meticulously describing various circumstances which are unfavourable to the work of the security services. We're also learning more about the victims.
Take a look at what happened.
These scenes shook America and shocked the world. Only by a miracle did Donald Trump avoid death. And for many, it was a miracle that the former president, who became the target of an assassination attempt, came out of it unscathed.
Once you see him get up off of the ground and you seen him, raise his fist, in the background you can see me. I was like, yes! I'm like, I knew it. I knew he was going to be all right. Everything was good.
Trump was saved by millimetres, but the threat could have been eliminated earlier. People were sounding the alarm after on a nearby rooftop, a man with a gun crawls, but the security services clearly underestimated the threat because the shooter was less than 120 metres from the sniper positions and even closer to the speaking Donald Trump.
I was up at the fence line, saw the guy move from roof to roof, told an officer that he was on the roof.
In addition to the gun, the shooter also had explosives in his car. He fired in Trump's direction but killed a 50-year-old Buffalo firefighter who shielded his wife and daughters with his own body.
By his sacrifice.
Lit up a room, volunteered here for years, doing life-saving stuff for complete strangers, putting his life on the line.
The site of Donald Trump's assassination is now a crime scene. Security services are investigating the motives of the assassin, who had repeatedly stressed that he hated Republicans and Trump himself.
Assassination attempt on the former president, Donald Trump, last night was absolutely unacceptable and tragic.
Shortly after the assassination attempt, Donald Trump was briefly in hospital. The former president is feeling fine. Today he also heard other good news. A court dismissed charges that he illegally held classified documents after his presidency ended. Trump is not slowing down. Not for a moment was he going to change his plans. He is already in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where the Republican convention will begin tonight and where Trump will most likely be officially elected Republican presidential candidate.
African-American Republicans, Latino Republicans, acknowledging that diversity in party coalition and then bringing it to unity around the candidate.
In Milwaukee, security services are on high alert. After Trump became the target of an assassination attempt, the Secret Service, among others, must now explain itself. The service directly responsible for protecting the nation's most important people, including former leaders.
The National Special Security Event, that designation is the highest level of security designation that the federal government can determine. So we are confident in these security plans that are in place for this event, and we're ready to go.
Since yesterday, Americans have been taking to the streets of cities to express their support for Donald Trump, from New York on the East Coast to mighty Texas. To sunny California on the other side of the United States.
We're celebrating that he lived. Yeah, of course. Yeah, he survived. He dodged a bullet, literally. Like literally, if he had not moved that one millimeter, it would have got him.
His supporters believe that now nothing will stop Trump in the race for the White House. Martin Shevchuk, TV Republica. Although Bogdan Klich wrote that Trump is an inconsistent and disrespectful politician of democracy, it is the senator from Civic Platform who is the best candidate to be Poland's ambassador to Washington. This is what Tusk thinks, and this is what Sikorski thinks. Polish President Andrzej Duda does not agree with them. So for the time being, Poland will have a chargé d'affaires level representation instead of an ambassador at this most important diplomatic post. For this, the former ambassador to NATO, Tomasz Siatkowski, has announced that he will file a lawsuit against the Prime Minister. And to think that diplomacy used to be such a peaceful enclave of elegant politics. Foreign Minister Radosław Sikorski has put Senator Bogdan Klich in charge of the Polish embassy in the United States, without the formal approval of the Polish President Andrzej Duda. The President's powers are defined by the Constitution, so the President's office maintains that Marek Magierowski remains the ambassador. The word Constitution was so eagerly changed by all cases in the election campaign. Under the Constitution, it is the President who decides who represents our country. Klich will act as head of mission, chargé d'affaires. If Minister Sikorski does not change his mind, there will be 2 diplomatic orders in Poland, and our country will not have an ambassador to the United States.
Próba powołania na szefa misji dyplomatycznej w
The
Stanach
attempt to
Zjednoczonych
appoint as head of the diplomatic mission in the United States former Minister Bogdan Klich is an action in contradiction to the announcements, talking about the professionalization of the Polish diplomatic service. People with diplomatic experience were to be appointed rather than a political incumbent. Klich is known for his antipathy to the Republican camp and Donald Trump. In 2022, he said the former US president was unstable. Now, as he seeks to serve as ambassador to Washington, Trump is the favorite in the race for the presidency in this year's elections. Let's remember that it was the friendship with this unstable and disrespectful democracy politician that was supposed to be, according to Law and Justice, the guarantor of Poland's security.
Ambasador powinien się kojarzyć jako osoba neutralna.
The ambassador should be a neutral person, someone who is ready to represent Poland's interests, but also be a good interlocutor with the party. In March, Minister Radosław Sikorski dismissed more than 50 ambassadors without presidential approval. One of them was Tomasz Siatkowski, the Polish representative to NATO. Moreover, Siatkowski had a good chance of becoming NATO's Deputy Secretary General for Defence Investment. He was hurt by the government's smear campaign. One of the charges was he allegedly cooperated with the Americans against Polish interests. Improper handling of classified documents, contacts with foreign special services.
z zagranicznymi służbami specjalnymi.
Of course, Mr. Prime Minister is not talking about this. He does not say that he is quoting an anonymous denunciation. He doesn't say that at my request these matters have been verified. After all, it's not about clarifying anything. It's about casting suspicion. In 2009, Bogdan Klich rejected a project to modernize Poland's armed forces. And as head of the Ministry of Defence, he was widely criticised, including for poor organisation of work in the ministry, lack of a vision for development, and a decline in orders for equipment for the army, and haphazard purchases. He was one of the authors of the policy of reset with Russia, precisely on the issue of security.
Wspólnota resetowych interesów, Radosław Sikorski.
Community of Reset Interests. Radosław Sikorski is the architect of the reset with Russia in the 2008 to 2014 era. His partner in these resetted interests with Russia was Bogdan Klich, and the political patron of this enterprise in Poland was Donald Tusk. For months, the new government has been undermining the president's prerogatives, not just on foreign policy and the right of clemency. A national prosecutor has been dismissed without presidential approval, and improper appointments are being made. Konrad Chmiała, TV Republica. Spain's national team returned to their hotel victorious in the early hours of Monday morning after beating England and winning the UEFA European Championship title. The Spanish team won 2-1, and the victory was an added gift for Spain's soccer wunderkid, Lamine Yamal, who turned 17 on Saturday.
Spain fans were delighted with their team, finishing a dominant Euro 2024 campaign with a deserved 2-1 win over England. We are the best. We are the best team in Europe. We've won against Croatia, Italy, Germany, England, France. What else do you want? We're the best. As they've said on TV, Lamine and Nico were going to make history, and that's what they've done today. Assist by Lamine, great goal from Nico. Looking at the whole game, I was a bit worried when we were tied, but that's how it is. England fans were disappointed as they yet again failed to secure their first title since the 1966 World Cup.
One team tried to win that game and it wasn't us, sadly. So hopefully we'll win it at Wembley in 4 years.
Next time.
Yeah.
Disappointed.
Yeah.
Better team won. Better team won. They were great. They were fast. They were overall better.
So you would say that Spain deserved
Spain
I mean, look, throughout the whole tournament, they've been brilliant.
They've been great
at scoring goals.
Yeah.
They played slower in the first half. They came out fast in the second half. And they did what they do. So it's like...
They were fantastic.
Yeah, you can't hold it against them.
Well done, Spain.
Yeah, well done, Spain.
After a cagey first half, Nico Williams put them ahead minutes after the break. But there was tension when Cole Palmer equalized for England, mere minutes after coming on for a substitute. The winner came 4 minutes from time, Mikel Oyarzabal, slotting home to send fans in the Spanish capital delirious. Pride and joy were the main emotions, a third European Championship title in 16 years for the Spaniards.
Today is No Phone Day. Of course, let's celebrate, although there was a Czech comedy entitled The Terrible Consequences of a TV Breakdown. I know that there is nothing to compare a TV with 2 channels with a modern smartphone. I don't have to convince you that if children were taken away from their smartphones for a day, such a disaster would have an apocalyptic dimension.
It is no longer just for writing or making phone calls. Now it is, among other things, a GPS, a web browser, or a camera that's helping me make this video for you right now. Unfortunately, it has started to take up too much time for some people. That's why we have a day like today, a day without mobile phones. But what do you mean, no mobile phones? The whole day. Today, we were riding the subway, and there were maybe 5 people who weren't on their phones. And everyone else was? Everyone else was glued to their phones. Not just in the subway. Do you use your phone a lot each day? A lot, yes. How many hours would you say? Gosh, I don't want to lie, but probably 6 to 10. It varies from day to day. According to research, almost 1 in 3 Poles uses their phone for at least 3 hours a day. 4 out of 5 of us do not control the time we spend in front of the smartphone screen in any way. Maybe sometimes it would be wiser to put the phone away, but most of the time, it makes our lives a lot easier. We are tourists and we're taking pictures. Oh, that's what it is.
Tylko do pracy robię.
Just for work, taking pictures, reading the news, reading books. I have to look at Google Maps to see where to go. But without mobile phones, we wouldn't have this remarkable competition.
Hello? No!
Yes, it's the World Championship of throwing a mobile phone. And back to today's festivities. Is there any hope that we won't become smartphone zombies? Why don't you put the phone away for the day? I have to check one thing, because I have to call a shop to see if they have something I want. So I'll do that, and then I'll put it away.
Dzisiaj będzie ciężko.
Today is going to be tough. I'll keep it in mind. Maybe tomorrow. We hope you'll keep your word. Mateusz Nowak, TV Republika.
That's the news. Thank you for watching. And from me, it's have a good night and a better tomorrow.